United Way Worldwide actually, on behalf of FEMA, and this is congressionally mandated, run the Emergency Food and Shelter Program. Every time there's a natural disaster or some other disaster in America, we, along with American Red Cross and Catholic Charities and Lutheran Social Services and others, we come in and help support the families.
As the National Board's designated fiscal agent and secretariat, the United Way is solely responsible for the distribution and documentation of millions of your taxpayer dollars to nonprofits like Catholic Charities and Lutheran Social Services. But according to this Office of Inspector General's report, the United Way has grossly mismanaged the Emergency Food and Shelter Program's Humanitarian Relief Fund, which provides services to families and individuals encountered by DHS at the southern border. The report found that local relief organizations like Catholic Charities and Lutheran Social Services did not always provide the required receipts or documentation for claimed reimbursements. In addition, some of these local relief organizations were unable to provide supporting documentation for families and individuals to whom they provided services. And worst of all, it was determined that some families and individuals did not even have a DHS encounter record. But this blatant misuse of funds and outright fraud is not the worst part of the United Way's mismanagement of this crisis at our southern border. According to whistleblower testimony before the U.S. Judiciary Committee, NGOs are actually aiding cartels in the trafficking of vulnerable children.
As HHS Secretary Becerra revealed in his now notorious video statement, the goal was to release these kids faster with fewer questions asked, to make it a more efficient assembly line. And this assembly line is staffed by crony contractors spending billions of taxpayer dollars on what is now a pipeline for child labor trafficking.
As part of Operation Artemis, I was deployed to the Pomona Fairplex Emergency Intake Site in California to help HHS, Office of Refugee Resettlement, reunite children with sponsors in the United States. I thought I was going to help place children in loving homes. Instead, I discovered that children are being trafficked through a sophisticated network that begins with recruiting in home country, smuggling to the U.S. border, and ends when ORR delivers a child to a sponsor. Some sponsors are criminals and traffickers and members of transnational criminal organizations. Some sponsors view children as commodities and assets to be used for earning income. This is why we are witnessing an explosion of labor trafficking. Now, whether it's intentional or not, it could be argued that the United States government has become the middleman in a large-scale, multi-billion-dollar child trafficking operation that is run by bad actors seeking to profit off of the lives of children.
The House Judiciary Committee sent a letter demanding accountability from CEO Angela Williams and the United Way. To our knowledge, the United Way has not responded, nor has anything been done to correct their gross mismanagement of this crisis. In a cruel twist of irony, the United Way, in partnership with the U.S. Chamber of Commerce, is running a PR campaign that it claims is working to end human trafficking.